me, not come. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Bondy Blue, and I am back for a cross between Now That We're Grown and a Halloween movie review for The Faculty. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Okay, we are back to do another one of these scary movies. You know that was gonna happen. All right, y'all gonna have to fool with me on this one. All right. Everybody, make sure as y'all come into the room, you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Happy Halloween, everybody. This is a pre-recorded video. All right. So I hope everybody is in the mood for the creepy season. Once again, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, enjoy the video. The movie starts off very regular. It's a regular day on a campus of a high school, middle America, ripping the fields. Ahoo, ahoo. That's the vibe that it's giving, okay? School, mostly white kids. Few difference up in there somewhere. You know, you see a black kid here or there. What's going on, Usher? Yeah, that's right, y'all. Usher. I know y'all didn't know that Usher baby, Usher, only black kid in the damn movie. Okay, so to that we give a, but that's okay because Jordan Brewster is considered of color. So stuff you noticed back in the day when you was watching these movies is how many black people was in them. But you know it's okay because there's enough Caucasian people in this movie that I like for me to mess around with it. Okay. I like Josh Hartnett. I like Clea Duvall. I really like Clea Duvall. I'm even more surprised that Clea Duvall is just not coming out of the closet, even after playing a lesbian for most of her career. Amazing. Okay, stories we had no idea of. Okay, so like I said, middle America, ripping the fields, ahoo, ahoo, ahoo. Caucasian people, high school, 90s, regular shit. Movie starts off with the football coach screaming obscenities at the players. He calls them pussy pukes and limp-ass blow dicks. Stuff I've never heard before. He says they're dead on Friday night. There's a big game, and they playing in practice like they ready to lose. He asked Stan, head jock in charge, if he's going to return to the world of the living because Stan is over there in La La Land somewhere not doing his job on this field as we are used to. Usher has to stop Stan from confronting the coach because the coach was talking to him crazy. The coach is over there acting like nobody at home is giving him coochie. Okay? The coach knocks the water cooler over in full white rage. Ah! Okay? Someone walks over to him. We don't know who it is, but they cast a shadow over him and he turns around. What? We don't see nothing else after that. The scene changes. It's nighttime. And the principal is having to tell all the teachers that the school has no money for new computers, for a trip to New York City, or for a play this year. Okay, we can't do a musical this year. This is frustrating to all of the other teachers. But of course, the football team will get everything they need because that is what the school board and the parents want. Her frustrated hands are tied. This lady can't do nothing for y'all. I know y'all upset with her, but the lady can't do nothing for y'all. All right? She doing the best she can, but y'all mad at her. Okay? The teachers really did not like the principal, and it sounded like it wasn't even her fault. Talk to the parents that only care about football. Talk to the boosters, the people that put money into the school. Talk to them. They are all leaving the school when the principal realizes that she forgot her keys. So she goes back into the now dark office to get her keys. It's a little nerve-wracking. We're a little scared. We don't know what's going on, but we going out, get the keys. Coach Willis surprises her and says that she looks pretty tonight. He asks her if she got a pencil. At first, she thinks that he's drunk. He's been drinking. He's been sipping brown out of his flask. He's doing too much. She's willing to let it ride. She's willing to let it go, even though if this is what you thought, your subordinate is sexually harassing you and you still feel like, go sleep it off. He's just drunk. Girl, it doesn't matter if he was drunk or not. The fact that he would press you like that is problematic and should not have just been looked over and swept under the rug like you were going to do. He asked her for the pencil over and over and over again. After a while, she gets frustrated, turns around, hands him the pencil. He stabs her in the hand. Just, oh my God, you stabbed this lady in the damn hand, sir. What's wrong with you? We don't know what's going on. Work with me here, people. Sound effects. She runs out. She barely escapes. Mrs. Olsen, the teacher, is standing outside the door. Somehow, now this door is locked and chained. I'm not sure whether she came in from a different door or not. I'm confused at this point. The school is too damn dark. She begs Mrs. Olsen, stay here with me, realizes that her keys are still in the office, runs back to get the keys. Mrs. Olsen screams, he's coming. And so she runs to Miss Olsen, unlocks the door, and barely makes it out, y'all. Barely makes it out alive. All for Mrs. Olsen to stab her with some damn scissors. I was so confused at the beginning of this movie. Everybody is doing shit that they always wanted to do, and somehow that includes stabbing this lady who was just trying to do her job. The next day, all seems well at the school. The school drug dealer arrives, ignoring all the traffic laws. A woman crashes into another woman and then drags her out of the car and beats her ass as if they're all drunk. Everybody in this town is overly angry. It's too early in the morning for this type of shit. Casey, the geeky nerd, gets elbowed in the face by some dumbass jock who we don't even really get to see. And then Stokely, the grungy mean girl, who everybody thinks is a lesbian, tells Casey to crash and burn. Girl, what? There are no friends even amongst the outcasts. No sympathy whatsoever. They picked Casey up, spread his legs, and rammed him into a flagpole. I don't know what the boys are on. I don't know what type of time they're on, but the fact that everybody like excuses this type of behavior as boys will be boys, and then y'all wonder why shortly after this era you had Columbine and all of the school shootings where y'all just mess with the wrong fucking nerd. You should treat people better. You should not ram people's balls against flagpoles. It's fucked up. Delilah, okay, she's telling the other teen girls how much makeup to wear, how much hairspray to wear, okay? We want to keep it light. We want to keep it beautiful. We want to keep it flawless, okay? When Stan comes over offering her a huge story for the paper because she's the smart, pretty girl, she's also in charge of a school paper, but she insults him. She doesn't care about what he has going on. It doesn't matter if you're my boyfriend. You're a dumb jock. You're dismissed. It was very disrespectful. I was like, I don't even know why you go with that lady. That lady not like you. It seemed like she going with you because that's what she feels she's supposed to do. Because of the politics of high school. The prettiest girl in school is supposed to go with the jock. But you don't really like that nigga, and that nigga he don't really like you that much either. He tried, but you mean. He's a mean old bitch. It's because you don't really like him. There's a country sweet new girl named Mary Beth. There's a couple fighting down the hall, and a girl is smacking the shit out of her boyfriend, who is chasing behind her as if it doesn't matter how many times she smacks him. He's still going to want that puss. Zeke, the drug dealer of the school, is in the bathroom selling fake IDs and his own recipe of scat, guaranteed to jack you up. Take note, this is going to be important in the future. Meanwhile, Casey is in the bathroom with a bloody nose, hiding in fear, frustration, and shame. In the teacher's lounge, folks are complaining and wishing death on Principal Drake, all while they don't know she's already dead. Then Mrs. Olsen walks in looking way more confident than before. I mean, that girl had a cute bob. That makeup was done. The scarf was lovely, okay? I think there might have even been a brooch. Speaking of lack of confidence, hot but quiet Miss Burke is teaching her class like she's scared the kids are going to eat her. Zeke is the class clown, but he's also extremely intelligent and he read the book that they're discussing. Stan finally tells Delilah he wants to quit sports and try to get into college based on his intellect, to which she responds with further insults. Surprised that he knows words that are more than 4 syllables. Please break up with this girl. Mr. Tate isn't on the right chapter in class, and Stokely notices that Stan corrected him. Stokely got a little crush on Stan, y'all. She's not the lesbian that everybody thinks she is. After class, Mary Beth Louise Hutchinson from Atlanta comes over to Stokely and asks what she's reading. When she sees it's a science fiction novel, she starts asking if she believes in alternate universes and alien beings and stuff. She doesn't have any friends, and Stokely looks like she has less than that. Delilah comes over because she is a cock blocker and a fucking hater, and bullies Stokely, calling her a violent lesbian. Mary Beth says that she doesn't recall any lesbians in her lineage. And Delilah says, well, I guess you're going to have to keep looking for Miss Right. It's like, I don't think that's a genetic thing exactly. Like, I don't think so, but okay. Y'all are weird in the 90s, okay? It's hella homophobia, very thick in the writing. Stokely pushes past Delilah and walks away. Delilah says, see, told you, violent. Ooh, that is a tool of white supremacy to basically bully somebody. And when they respond in anger, you say they're out of control and violent. Gaslighting at its finest. Casey is walking on the football field during lunch because he has no friends and finds some unknown insect in the grass when Coach Willis comes out of nowhere and asks if he's interested in sports. The energy that Coach Willis has is very much different from the first day we met him when he was screaming and howling and calling people, pussy punks and all types of shit, words I ain't never heard before. Child, listen, different type of coach today, okay? And yeah, Casey's not interested in football, sir. He's a nerd. He says, I don't believe that anyone should just be running unless they're being chased. This was a stupid thing to say because now coach is going to remember that. Chased, huh? Get out of here. It was scary. It was very much given this type of energy. In my opinion, okay? But Casey got the fuck out of there because the energy, even outside in broad daylight on the field at a school, is just a bit much for everyone. He's scary. Let's get the fuck out of here. Stokely sees something weird happen when Mrs. Olsen goes into Miss Brummel's office. For the second time that day, she and Stan bumped into each other. And she's like, oh my God, watch where you're going. And he's like, maybe if you didn't paint your fucking eyes shut. Child, that shit was hilarious. It's literally one of my favorite lines in the movie. Casey takes the insect to Mr. Furlong in chemistry class to see if they can make sense of this. Mary Beth and Stokely are in this class as well. And Mary Beth tells Stokely it's okay if she's a lesbian and to fly free. Girl, I don't know you like that. Back up off me. Stokely says that she's not a lesbian. She just says that to keep people like her away. Girl, she don't like you. Furlong takes a look at the insect and says it looks like a new species. And Zeke is intrigued because, as I've told y'all, he plays dumb, but he's extremely smart, okay? He stays in school because he doesn't know what he wants to do with his life, but he could have passed his classes a long time ago. Furlong is thinking about using it to get grant money for the school because all of the money is going to the football team. Usher says maybe it's from Stokely's species. Oh, so now the black guy is joining in on bullying the goth girl. Great. We love it. You can tell that they wrote this character for a white boy. They did, and they just put Usher in it to bring in the black folks. We need everybody to come and see this movie. It's the 90s. Equal opportunity. That means one black person and every now and again an Asian or a Latina that's identifiable, but not too much. She bumps his shoulder and they end up knocking over a glass of water. And the water gets on the species, the new organism, the insect. We don't know what the fuck it is. It moved when the water hit it. It was like, oh shit. It sprouts scales and Mr. Furlong wants to feel it. So he puts it in a tank of water, puts a glove on, puts his hand down into the tank, and the little insect that now is swimming as if a fish retracts its lips and bites the piss out of Furlong's finger. God damn it! Stan tells Coach Willis he's quitting ball, and he says he's not going to stand in the way of the human condition. What? You not going to scream at me? You not going to verbally assault me? Oh, okay, well, thanks, Coach. Coach said, what kind of human being would I be if I did that? Child, apparently one that does not have a strange insect inside of its body feeding off of its brain. Usher calls Casey an anal probe in the locker room. Wow, who wrote this shit? Stan still hasn't told Usher he's not playing ball anymore. And Casey says to Stan, it must really blow being you. And he says, you have no idea. He's the jock, but he's tortured. You know, that's the vibe. Stan gets in the shower and old Mrs. Brummel comes out of nowhere with her skin peeling off of her damn head, child. We didn't know what the hell was going on. Stan is standing there with no clothes on in the shower, hugging an old lady whose scalp is leaving her body. It was just melting off with the hot water. It was just, oh my God, it was so disgusting. Oh, goodness gracious. I have the visual in my head. And I can't breathe. And she was, you know, and then he was like, it's okay, it's okay. My dick's touching this old lady, it's okay. And then, you know, he puts his hand in there like, it was disgusting. I'm sorry, I'm moving on. She said to him in her gasping breath, he wants everyone. Letting him know what's going on. This is a foreshadowing of things to come. Mrs. Olsen asked Stan and Casey to keep this on the hush-hush on the down low. And they obliged, but why the fuck is we keeping this on the quiet? Why is we keeping this on the down low? Make it make sense for me. Somebody should have called the damn police. Red flag, red flag. Casey sees Coach Willis standing on the field letting the sprinklers soak him, which looks odd. At the beginning of the movie, we saw the coach kicking the sprinklers in the grass as if he wants the grass to die. Zeke is an equal opportunity hustler. He sells drugs, fake IDs, and porn out of his trunk. Miss Burke, who is the young teacher who seems as if she's scared that the kids are going to eat her when really she wants to fuck them. I'm just saying, y'all, Miss Burke is playing real innocent and shit, but ultimately, I think she won't fuck Zeke just like Zeke won't fuck her, but that's a conversation for about when we get close to the end of the movie, y'all. But either way, she tells him he cannot conduct business on school property. She's not even calling the police on him, okay? Students have told her about him selling them mind-altering drugs. She asks if he wants to talk to her or Principal Drake about it. And he ignores her and says, you know what you need? Some laxatives, right? Because she has something stuck in her ass because she doesn't want you selling drugs to the kids at the school. Yeah. And then when she ignores the laxatives and says that he's smart and he really could have graduated last year and finished all of his classes over the summer, she don't understand why he keep playing these stupid ass games. He then offers her cherry flavored condoms. So rude. Really hurt Miss Burke's feelings. Zeke felt like a little bit of an asshole after that, but it's not like he was going to apologize about it. He's a creep, but so is she. Delilah drags Casey into the teacher's lounge to find something for the school paper. They accidentally flirt with each other, letting us know that Delilah did not really like Stan. Girl, you really want to be with the school nerd, but you fronting and faking with Stan for what? Like, come on now. Even though I feel like this was real cute of the 90s people to try to get y'all out of those, regular stereotypical roles. And, everybody always feels like the jock and the cheerleader are supposed to be together. But in the 90s, they was trying to let y'all know, nah, it ain't got to be like that. It can be however y'all want it to be. Enters 2023 where you don't know what the hell you gonna get, okay? The 90s raised us. So Mrs. Olsen and Coach Willis come into the teacher's lounge and Delilah and Casey have to hide abruptly. They discuss how Brummel's body was too old to take. Nurse Harper, who is always sniffling like she's doing cocaine on the weekends, comes in and Coach Willis puts a bug in her ear. And then Miss Brummel's dead body falls on Delilah and Casey while they're in the closet trying to restrain themselves out of fear. Shut the fuck up. They were making too much noise in that closet. Of course, She's screaming because the body falls on her. When coach goes to open the door, they push past him, boom, with like an umbrella or some shit, and they run out. Principal Drake intercepts them. They try to explain. Then Mr. Tate walks up and asks, what's going on here? What's going on? And they are crying and distraught, but the teacher's smiles have not left their faces. They're still smiling. Yeah, it's creepy. It was very much giving creepy. Everybody was smiling, and it's like Delilah's crying, Casey's hysterical, and y'all are like smiling, asking stupid fucking questions. Then Nurse Harper, Mrs. Olson, and Coach Willis walk into the hallway very calmly and honestly creepily. And Delilah makes a run for it. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I'm getting the fuck out of here. Casey runs behind her, but then kind of falls and pulls his hand out. Delilah, don't leave me. Delilah got the fuck, which was really messed up because he saved her from Nurse Harper when she grabbed Delilah's ankle when they were running out of the room before they were intercepted by Principal Drake. So yeah, Delilah trying to let y'all know, don't think she gonna stop and save you. She is a damsel and she will act as such. Give a damn if this is a 90s horror movie. Casey tells his parents what happened. And in true fashion of a horror movie, they don't believe him because parents just don't understand. They call the police and go back to the school. The teachers are acting like it's all a misunderstanding. There's nobody in the closet. It's a doll. And Casey says, call Delilah. She'll tell you they attacked Nurse Harper. They have an answer for everything. His parents obviously don't believe him now. The police officer goes into the principal's office alone. There's a noise. One of the police officers, hears the noise, but before she can go and see what's going on, they walk out. Dwayne Martin is the police officer, and he obviously has had a bug put in his ear by Principal Drake. They're taking over. They want everyone. The principal then tries to get Casey's mom into her office, and Casey's like, no, mom, no, I'm going to go talk to a doctor. Let's go. Let's get the fuck out of here. You're going to turn my mama into some goddamn alien. When he gets home, his dad tears his room up. Like real Gestapo annoying ass shit, tearing his room up like he's gonna find drugs. It was really the stupidest shit. He kept asking them to believe him. They refused to. They take his phone, they take his music, they take his internet, they take his porn, as if masturbating is going to do something. Then they tell him that they're going to get him help. It was the most annoying, antagonizing, gaslighting ass scene. Y'all, oh my God, it made me so upset. I almost wanted his parents to get affected just so that he can kill them with the cocaine later, or the scat, whatever you want to call it. It's giving cocaine, but whatever. His dad tells him to clean his room after he finishes destroying it. Casey tries to sneak out, but Mrs. Olson, Coach Willis, and Mr. Tate were outside waiting in the shadows. His dad comes outside just as he falls from the damn roof of their home into the front yard, and it looked like his dad saw something. Drags him back inside and says, man, get your ass back inside. He was also holding one of his porno magazines in his hand, so we know what he's going to be doing for the evening. Fucked up. But either way, the dad looked like he saw some shit, y'all. It always annoyed me that they acted like they didn't see anything. Like, you saw them 3 grown-ass people standing in your front yard. Like, there's not that much space between your front door and the damn curb. Give me a break. I feel like this dynamic between Casey and his parents really was conditioning us to know that when shit really goes down, your parents probably won't believe you. It's so sad. Casey's dad drops him off at school the next day, continuing to ignore his fear. And then the coach comes to the car to talk to his dad. Delilah pulls Casey into the bathroom wearing glasses and a ponytail. She looks different. Talking about she's incognito. Girl, get the fuck out of here. We can see that's you whether you're wearing glasses or not. What do you think this is, Scooby-Doo? They're calling all the kids to the office, and Delilah is one of the ones that they're calling. She says that they're after her. Her mom didn't believe her. Her mom is drunk, obviously. Delilah got her own issues at home. Delilah wants to go to the police, but Casey says they got to the police. It's like, girl, where the fuck were you last night when we brought the police back to the school? She keeps asking, who's they? Girl, I don't know. You tell me who's after you. The fuck? You talking like you know it's a group of people after you, and when Casey says it, now all of a sudden, who's they? Like, miss me with the confusion. She's gonna go and find Stan. Or what the fuck is Stan gonna do? I don't know. The teacher's lounge is now full of quiet teachers drinking a shit ton of water with the air conditioning on, okay? Fuck what the school board said. Stokely is staring at Stan, so Mary Beth pushes her onto him to force them to talk in class. Stan tells Stokely that he quit the football team. She's shocked. He's even more shocked when he finds out that she knows his football stats. Oh, yes, oh, yes. She likes him like that. He's tired of everyone kissing his ass because he's captain of the football team. Stokely understands this, you know. She can get it. She can understand it. She gets it. He wishes people would just let him be a D student, you know, instead of pushing his grades up to an A or a B because you want him to be able to play in the football game this weekend. Mr. Tate comes into class way more energized than before, drinking water instead of liquor, asking for them to write their whole family tree in class right now. It's like, how? How are they going to do it? It just feels really, really like a lot. You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't you have to like call your parents, ask your grandparents, like get some information first? We should all be doing this right now in class. Oh, okay, let me go into my mind. I don't know. I don't know, y'all, but the teachers are on one. They're drinking water and they're on one. I hate the way they're kind of making good attitudes seem bad. Drinking the water, being calm, not overreacting, like, you know, controlling anger, being kind. It's fake kindness, but it's still kindness. Either way, the movie, I think, is low-key meant to show you that toxic positivity is weird and life requires balance. And sometimes people are going to be angry and act out and be disgruntled and, you know, want to drink their alcohol. Like, you know, everybody's going to have their issues, but that's normal. It's normal for everybody to be angry and alcoholics and fighting and domestic violence in high school. That's normal. But for y'all to act nice to each other, no, that's not normal. You're a fucking alien. Can you guys imagine? It's giving evil is good. Evil is good. That's what it's giving. Yeah, it's very weird. I don't know what that's about. But now that we're in 2023 and I look on social media, it's absolutely giving evil is good. You have to wonder the influence that movies and media have on the psyche when the messaging is kind of problematic on some shit. You know what I'm saying? Does anybody understand what I'm saying right now? You know what I'm saying? It's giving evil is good. Make you believe that bad ways of being are good. You know, and it affects the way you think about these things. So like now, all these years later, 30 years later, people really are online acting out ideas and attitudes that people would have thought was too stupid to even vocalize. Not anymore. Anyway, we see Nurse Harper giving the kids ear exams with a police escort. It's given y'all are forcibly putting aliens in people's ears at school. Ugh, creepy. Mary Beth is telling Zeke that her parents died in an accident and she's staying with some of her cousins. During this conversation, Zeke is noticing everyone acting different and drinking a lot of damn water. Zeke's regular customers try to buy all of his scat, but something tells Zeke to act like he doesn't have any more. Miss Burke comes over, totally different, in a red top, confident, wearing makeup, hair blowing in the wind. Zeke tells her he's not in the mood and he doesn't have any patience. And she tells him she's the one that doesn't have any damn patience. His pathetic little runt. His own mother has to go out of town to get away from her sad excuse for a bastard son. Y'all, the lady who is normally scared to even say anything to the kids, okay, like a goddamn mouse, is telling this dude that if he doesn't stop selling drugs on her campus, she's going to stick her foot in his ass so far he'll be sucking her toes till graduation. Casey tells Stokely he thinks aliens are here, much like the science fiction that she's reading. Stokely doesn't believe it. Casey says maybe the movies are preparing us for what's to come. Maybe Spielberg and them are the aliens making it palatable just so no one would believe it when it really happens. Y'all know I don't like to believe stupid shit, right? But y'all have seen the alien stuff all over the place, right? In recent months alien sightings, shit that don't make sense. We think it's AI. We do. But then also government shit. Them saying that they know that there's aliens. It's a lot of stuff going on, but nobody cares. Nobody believes it. Nobody cares. And there's a lot of evidence that's being put out there. Like, people is out here like, my groceries is too expensive. You think I give a fuck about some aliens? Like, that's the vibe. So it absolutely makes me feel like this movie was right on the money. This movie was right on the money with the way movies prepare us for what's to come. I absolutely feel this is true. They tell you that it's not real. They tell you it's fake. But a lot of the times, the shit's real. The shit's not fake. And it's their way of telling you about it because they can't really tell you about it because they're not supposed to. Like, it's very, very creepy to me, but you notice a lot of the themes in some of these movies from back in the day. Nowadays, the shit is actually kind of coming to fruition, and this is one of those things. The movies did prepare us. We seeing shit on social media. Nobody cares. Okay, no one's even blinking an eye. Child, that shit ain't real, whatever. Stokely says in Puppet Masters that there are parasites. So they go and get Delilah and Stan and go to Furlong's class to find the new species is missing. Casey tells them he thinks aliens are taking over the fucking school, but they don't believe him. On the other side of the wall, Zeke is making out with the new girl, Mary Beth, while getting more supplies from the science lab to make more scat. They overhear this conversation that Casey and them are having and come in calling Casey the alien. Furlong comes in asking, shouldn't you guys be in class? Way more confident, way less geeky. It's creepy. Casey asks, what happened to the organism that they found? He says he sent it to the university. Zeke tries to leave, but Furlong stops him. And then he chokes Casey, pushes Delilah to the floor. Zeke cuts his fingers off with one of those paper cutters, and he shoves a stick of scat in his eye. And soon he starts convulsing. Shit spewing out of his eye. He had no idea what was going on. What the fuck? Okay? It's gross. At this point, most of the school is filled with fucking aliens. I think they should have believed Casey when he said it the first time. On their way out, because they got to get the fuck out of here, Usher comes and the football team is following behind him. They roll up on Stan like, hey, Stan, you want to play? No, nigga, I don't want to play. What is going on? This is weird. I don't even know what type of, situation you coming at me with right now. They try to leave the town, but the police are blocking the roads. So they go to Zeke's house. His mom and dad are in Europe. They're always somewhere, never at home. He has a whole lab set up in his garage. And they put one of the species they got from killing Furlong, because whenever they chopped his fingers off, they turned into them little parasites. He starts dissecting it after he puts it into a mouse. Zeke puts his glasses on and figures out that it's a parasite that connects itself to a host, and it's a part of a larger organism. Delilah is still hating on Stokely, who says if they killed the master, they could beat it. Every time Stokely or Casey or somebody says something that makes sense in this scenario, Delilah is there to be disagreeable, to disagree with what they're saying, to question it, to make it sound stupid, which honestly should have shown us that she was an alien the entire time. Delilah says, let's get the fuck out of town. Casey says it took over our school in what, a day? If we give this a week, we won't be able to outrun it. Nah, we got to handle this shit. Delilah is still hating on Stokely, who says if they killed the master, they could beat it. Stan says any of them could be an alien. Stokely says in Body Snatchers, humans became emotionless. Stokely knows all of the information we need to know. Parasite, emotionless. Stan says that Coach was more emotional. His behavior was slightly odd. It really is emotionless when you think about the fact that anger is an emotion. And the fact that he's now absent of his main emotion is given emotionless. Delilah points out Stan quitting football and how that's odd. Girl, what the fuck? Girl, like, whatever. Then she throws some lesbian slurs at Stokely and questions Mary Beth, who showed up when this first started happening. She's just causing a lot of discourse right now. Zeke suggests that they all do the scat to prove that they're humans and not aliens. Just as they start this conversation, a car pulls up outside. They don't know a car pulled up outside, but we know a car pulled up outside. Shit creeped me out. Everyone does the scat at gunpoint. It's one of the funniest scenes, okay? Because they don't know what it's like to tweak. They don't know what it's like to do drugs and then just start laughing out of nowhere. So people fucking tweaking, okay? Giggling, tweaking, it's a lot. Pulling guns on each other, all of this, all right? When we get to the last two, Delilah and Mary Beth, Delilah and then throws it. And we like, did she throw it? Did she not sniff it? While we looking at Delilah, Mary Beth seemingly sniffs her shit. So we like, okay, she good. Delilah, it's you? Stan checks on Delilah and all of these worms are swimming across her face. And she throws him across the room, and then she pushes everything off of Zeke's lab desk, killing all of the stash he could have made of the scat. So the aliens know that the scat will kill them. She runs out. Now we know we can't trust Delilah. They go to the football game where the coach and the players are infecting the other team members with the parasite when they knock their asses out. Whew, teacher, leave that kid alone. Yeah, I love that part. That part when they all go to the football stadium and it's just kill, 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 kill. And, you know, they playing that dope-ass song in the background. We don't need no crowd control. Like, it's a vibe. I ain't gonna lie. Like, that was one of my favorite parts. Usher knocking people fucking heads off, flaring his nostrils and shit. Principal Drake is suspect number one for the leader, but we know that's not true because we watched her get killed by Coach Willis and Mrs. Olsen. She follows them into the gym and they tie her up so that they can make her sniff the scat, but she won't do it voluntarily. So Zeke shoots her in the head. At first they think she's dead and they made a mistake, but then she starts, you know, getting up and all of the bugs start running out of the wound in her head, creeping me the fuck out. Mary Beth, who was holding the remainder of the scat, pours all of it on her. For what? I don't know. It seemed like fucking sabotage. Before Stan leaves to go and see if it worked and she was the queen, Stokely grabs him and kisses him. She said, I just don't want to have not done that, especially if this nigga dies, okay? So he runs out, and I don't know why he did not see them just standing in the field soaking up the fucking rainwater from like a mile away. But he had to run up close to them to see that it did not work. And then they start to chase him. And he runs back to the building, banging on the damn door, begging them to let him in. He says he lost the scat that he had, so they give him one of the last ones that they had, and he pours it out. And this is when we realize they got fucking Stan. They got Stan. Damn, Stokely. We wanted Stokely to have her happily ever after with her jock that don't want to be a jock no more. Ugh. Casey distracts the football player so Zeke can run to his car while he has the last of the scat. He runs into Miss Burke, who says she wants some cherry-flavored condoms. He says, let me hook you up. And then he jumps in his car because he knows she's a fucking alien. And she jumps in the car. And, you know, he starts driving the car. Zeke boy. And then licking his ear and shit. It was all very creepy. And then he crashes the car into some buses. And she goes flying through the fucking windshield. He gets out of the car and sees her head has tentacles. It is not connected to her body. Her body is trying to find the head. Eventually, they find one another. Zeke says, man, fuck this, and runs off. Because I ain't even got time to deal with this, and I want this bitch to live, okay? So let me go. He wanted her to live for later on. Stokely and Mary Beth are in the gym talking alone, and Mary Beth asks if Stokely is tired of being something she's not, because she is. Stokely was like, the fuck? Turns around and she starts to turn into a big ass alien. Bitch, it was Mary Beth all along. She punches Stokely in the face and knocks her down the bleachers as she's turning into the alien. Casey comes running in, then they start running. It pulls Stokely into the pool water, and somehow Stokely gets out of the water, not turned into a water alien. That don't make no damn sense to me. The alien turns back into Mary Beth, while Casey, Zeke, and Stokely hide in a football locker room. You know, bitches who won't kill you always want to give a monologue. When Zeke comes in, Mary Beth blames Stokely, and Stokely blames Mary Beth. We don't know who to believe, child. We know who to believe because Mary Beth is standing there ass naked. Zeke notices this eventually. She explains Zeke doesn't know what he saw because he did think he saw her sniff the scat. But she says, you don't know what you saw. And then we get the flashback of her unscrewing it with her weird tentacle finger and the scat running out because we was distracted by what was going on with Delilah's ass, right? Zeke makes Casey take the drug. Mary Beth walks around naked trying to catch them. And then she tells them about her world, where there are limitless oceans as far as the eye can see. But it started to dry up, so she escaped. And she came here. She met a lot of people like Casey, outcasts. And she thought that she can give them a taste of her world, a world without anger, without fear, without attitude, where the underachiever goes home to parents who care, and the class wuss doesn't have to live in fear. The ugly duckling gets to be pretty, and the new girl, she gets to fit in just like anybody else. Even my feelings could get hurt by a bunch of pathetic lost outcasts who really believe their disaffected, lonely lives is the only way they can survive. I want to make y'all a part of something fearless. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. I feel like, first of all, your planet was destroyed because y'all consume all the water that y'all need to survive. So you don't replenish the water and you're constantly consuming it at large rates. That's why your planet was drying out, okay? Y'all are drinking too much water. It's too many of y'all. Y'all make too many of yourselves too quickly, okay? Like, it shouldn't be all of y'all drinking up all the goddamn water if everybody need water to survive, okay? First thing. Second thing, y'all, this is another time where this movie is putting a mindset as evil that's actually really good. Like being fearless, getting over attitudes and anger and all of those things, y'all, that's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to enjoy your life, feel your life. You're not supposed to be disaffected by everything. And you're supposed to be fearless in a way of, this is scary, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm feeling it, but I'm going to do it anyway. That fearless shit she was talking is very real, y'all. Very real when I think about how many times we as human beings hold ourselves back because of the fear we've created in our minds. It's so easy to get, like scared of every opportunity or whatever you have in your life, relationships, whatever, school is, everyday shit. You just get nervous and scared because you don't know what your day gonna be like and what the outcome of this is gonna be. But you gotta live fearlessly in this life in order to fully enjoy it. Like, don't be crazy, don't be reckless, but be fearless. There's a difference. And I feel like her giving this speech, it was something that everybody still needed to hear because all of them were too scared to be exactly who they were. Casey is not just some nerd. He's smart. He's funny. He's sarcastic. You know what I'm saying? Delilah, you don't really want to be with the jock. You want to be with the nerd. You're more of a nerd your damn self than you would like to admit. Stokely, you put all of the dark makeup and all of that shit on yourself so that you can push people away. Nobody is being exactly who they are, and they needed to be fearless in order to live in their truth. And I hate the fact that the crazy alien bitch is the one that gave y'all the game, but the truth of the matter is she was right, because after she was gone, everybody became more courageous in being who they were and not putting on a front any longer the way they were at the beginning of the movie. Just saying, y'all, okay? Peep it. I don't think anybody peeped the speech and how the speech was really hitting on everything, okay? It's really the message that the kids needed to hear. And not just the kids in the movie, the kids watching the movie. So when you frame it as the bad guy, I don't know if people are listening the way they should, but really you should be fearless when it comes to living your life and being honest and living in your truth. You really should. Message. Okay. Casey says that he would rather live in fear. He ends up trapping her in the bleachers and stabbing her in the eye with the scat. A bunch of the parasites fly into his face. Yeah, it was disgusting. Gives me the creeps thinking about it. Stokely is the first one to wake up, but then Zeke scares the shit out of them, falling onto the cage with a bloody head, asking if it's over. It's over. And then we see 1 month later, Coach is back to screaming at Access, okay? He's going to have high blood pressure. Zeke is now playing football with Usher, okay? Like, Zeke is a football player now, instead of just selling drugs and not doing anything for the last super duper senior year he's going to be in high school. Miss Burke is in the stands, smiling at him like, because he's of age and 18, she can fuck one of her students. Problematic. Very, very problematic. Stan and Stokely are together. And finally, her fucking eyes aren't painted shut anymore. Delilah shows Casey all the magazine covers that he's on because the story, went viral. And all of the news people are still showing up to the campus to talk to him. And his hair is done and he's looking suave and geeky. But enough for Delilah to want to be all up on him because now him and Delilah together, of course she want to be with you now. You all over the magazines. Be careful because at the end of the day, Delilah still ain't shit in my book. Okay? Bottom line, Delilah ain't shit in my book. But yeah, y'all, that was The Faculty. This is literally one of my favorite scary movies. If you ever get a chance to sit down and watch it like at night in the dark, the shit is scary. Okay? But either way, that was my Halloween Now That We're Grown movie review for The Faculty. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And I hope that the next time I do one, you'll catch it. Happy Halloween, motherfuckers!